I was just like, nah, I'm just gonna have him on the.
We'll just have him on.
Yeah.
We'll just show everybody. It's like, show everybody say. So basically, let's start out with this. I had a piece of metal in my mouth for the longest time.
Is it like
A permanent retainer.
Oh, okay.
So I had it on the lower part of my mouth.
Did you get it taken out?
Well, so on last week, Sunday, my mouth started tasting like metal. Like it was like gross. It was bad. I like woke up Monday morning. I like sipped coffee and just like it just tasted like metal. So then I made an appointment, and yes, I got it removed.
Wow.
So I feel I was worried that I was going to start talking different, or like things would just be different. But if anything, I've just noticed that I can smell slightly better and taste a little bit better, which is good because I could, like, I would always have my wife smell stuff to make sure it's still good. But now I don't need that. Maybe. But
Maybe it's just been you've been slowly metal poisoned for the last 51 episodes of this podcast, and that's why you were struggling with
everything.
everything in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all it takes is just removing the permanent retainer and no more mercury poisoning straight to your body.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
So-
like, you know.
Oh, that's cool. You can smell more and it doesn't taste like metal. Great.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So basically what we're learning here is that, like, you should blame all of your problems on one thing that you can easily change about yourself, but you won't. And then maybe one day you change it and realize that actually
That's a good lesson.
wasn't a problem.
That's a real good lesson.
It is. What good lessons have you learned recently?
Well, through the repeated sacrificing of myself and my time through Elden Ring bosses, I've learned that no obstacle is too big for me if I never give up,
Wow.
realistically.
You got it.
The boss never truly wins because I'm the cockroach that keeps coming back.
It's I'm glad you feel that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I also feel like a lot of it's a mental game too, you know, because you have this expectation of you want to beat the boss, and then you get frustrated, and then you get dejected or demoralized or something. But if you just meet the boss every time with like, all right, here's another one.
Round 2.
Yeah, round 80. What are you going to show me this time?
Yeah.
Teach me, big boy.
Oh, this one again?
Yeah.
Oh, this one? See,
I've seen this move before. You've activated my trap card.
see, like me and another man that you know, we've been playing fighting games together.
Okay.
We've been grinding Guilty Gear Strive.
Oh, gotcha.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
And it's exactly like fighting like Elden Ring boss, because it's like he'll figure out something that I don't know how to beat yet, and so he just spams it, and I'm like, all right, I think I know what to do this time, and
Yeah,
I just
you just subject yourself to the grinder until you figure out what exactly it is.
yeah. So like we've gone and played like 100 matches in a row where it was like just back and forth, and like.
That's amazing.
So then other people have also bought the game. We're like, yeah, this is how you learn, as we just destroy them. Yeah, so basically what you want to do there is you should have crouch blocked and then jabbed, but you didn't do that, so now you're dead.
You know, I was talking about this with one of my buddies because they've been playing a bunch of racquetball, and they have like a team of, they have like about 6 people that some of them show up, some don't every single, like 2 to 3 days a week or whatever. And he was talking about skill levels and how the guys that are the lowest on the skill levels want to face like him, and the guys at the top of the skill levels relative in their group. But the problem is the games are so boring that they don't have to expend any effort, that it's just not fun for them to play against the lowest skill guys. So they're like trying to figure out how to get really low skill people into their group with them so that they have other people to play with.
Grind
because the low skill guys don't want to play against the other low skill guys for whatever reason. So it's just like, it's pretty interesting.
I want to fight God.
Yeah, I want to fight somebody so good. And my buddy's just like, I don't even move. I just like lazily hit, and I get points. So
I just like trip and die.
Yeah, that's basically it. So
Damn.
I was like, that's pretty funny.
Racquetball.
Yeah.
Isn't that like pickleball?
And well, it's just a wall, and you guys both like rapport against a wall.
That one gets violent though, doesn't it?
It depends if you run into each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd rather like hit it to each other.
I actually think my favorite sport I played growing up was badminton.
I agree with
I
100%.
fucking love
Yeah.
badminton, dude.
I think in our school, everybody liked badminton.
Yeah, there's something about it, like the extending absurd reach to
Yeah.
like hit them, and then you can just lightly. There's none of the like spin stuff that tennis had, at least as far as I know from the lower tier of gameplay.
I'm
But,
sure you could do something weird,
yeah,
but
I'm sure you could like weave
yeah.
the shuttlecock and slam it by just holding it in your like net essentially.
Which
Racket just.
in doubles, you have like your teammate creates a wind current
Oh.
while you hit the birdie.
Yeah. Yeah, he blows,
It's
keeps it up in the air for you.
no,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like blow.
Yeah, your teammate's got racket shoes on and curb stops it.
Does like a backflip. This is the highest end of badminton.
Yeah. You won't believe what my buddy can do. Show him, Slick. He just jumps around, does a cartwheel, hits it. You grab his legs and toss him.
No, he doesn't have legs. He just has arms until you. That's what you do. You're just holding him, and you're like, yeah.
Oh my
Toss him
God.
in the air.
Yeah, he's really light. So you're like, quick. It's like a Transformers move. We grab hands, and then I just pull him,
Yeah.
and he gives me the extended reach.
He's like, yeah, I'm getting surgery to remove my arm so I can be lighter.
Yeah.
Getting a carbon fiber racket. Like,
Yeah, they had to cut my knees off. Man, I love badminton, dude.
hey, why isn't
Well,
there?
we're gonna do a podcast while playing badminton. That's
I'm
what I
ready.
want to do.
Yeah,
that
let's
would
do
be
it.
so funny.
Just be a lot of.
While we're talking,
Where can you even play badminton? I
at
mean,
your house.
you just set it up in the
Yeah,
backyard.
with a net.
But like, where's if we wanted to join a badminton league? Where do we go?
That I don't know. I don't think there's anybody that plays. I know pickleball is you know.
I don't want to play.
See, the
pickleball,
problem
though.
is, yeah, I don't like pickleball either because that plastic ball is just,
and it's
it doesn't
tennis.
seem fun. And it's like the wood paddle. It's like, well, it's more like table.
It's table tennis, but
What is
tennis
that-
sized.
What is that fucking sport called? Ping pong?
Yeah.
It's like ping pong, yeah.
Yeah.
But like a tennis size, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and you hold the thing where like the board is down here, and you.
Do you think that the name table tennis is like more dignified, like the way that they
Than
call
ping
like
pong.
graphic novels instead of just comics? like
Yeah.
like I read a whole book talking about how like graphic novels are completely different from like children's drivel comics. But like, do you think it's like, oh yeah, I play table tennis?
Yeah. I'm the ping pong champion. Like, see that? I replaced my feet with ping pong paddle.
Yeah, I love playing. Yeah, that guy keeps coming back. He like goes to hit and then.
What movie is that? Is that oh God, Don't Mess with Johan or something like that, where he plays
Yeah,
ping pong? He
I
does
think-
that.
yeah.
That exact move.
I think so, yeah.
Damn.
Dude.
They thought
We're
of it
just
before us.
Yeah, we're just stealing old movie jokes now, man. Our podcast kind of fucking sucks.
It does. What
We should
happened?
talk about something new.
Yeah. What new subject do you have?
You start.
Quantum entanglement involving
Oh my
Bell.
god, dude. What are you fucking a science podcast? Is that what we are now?
Yeah. I don't know how quantum entanglement works, but I want it to work. Do you ever learn about how that works?
No.
Oh, it's like they like.
I look at JO crystals and organ energy. What the fuck are you talking
It's
about?
my kind of science.
Yeah. The pseudoscience is the only thing I'm proficient in.
I mean, like.
I can tell you who's a flat earther from the key words that they talk about, but I couldn't tell you anything about quantum entanglement.
See, like, I find that stuff kind of fun, you know?
Yeah.
It's a little wacky.
I'm not saying it isn't fun.
No.
It could be fun.
It could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, you want to know, so conspiracy theories?
Yeah, let's hear about yours. Do you have
Well-
a new one that you've invented?
Yeah, for the recent events.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the recent events.
Oh, my God.
Uh,
Dude, what, actually, more importantly, what is there to be said about that event other than like everything that's already been said about it?
Yeah,
I mean,
I think we already have it all then.
yeah,
It's
that's
already,
it.
yeah. You figured it out.
That's basically it.
We won't name the event.
No,
We won't say anything
it
about the
doesn't.
event.
It doesn't. We don't need to become political podcasts either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'll rant to you about my tirade on that one side that I don't like. You know the one I don't like.
Oh yeah.
After the podcast.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah. And that one group, oh, that one group's gonna get it.
Dude, I can't stand the same group that you're talking about.
This because
God forbid they gain any political ground in the landscape of media.
Exactly, and it's a good thing that we are brothers in arms in our group, because we need to unite and be against the other group.
Speaking of being a brother in arm, I was talking with one of my buddies, and for my latest book club, we have to read Marcus Aurelius's The Meditations. I've read a majority of it in the past, but my buddy suggested a great joke, and I'm going to repeat it here. He was like, because we watched Gladiator together, which has like Marcus Aurelius in it, and he's like, dude, just watch Gladiator like 12 times and show up to the book club. Be like, yeah, I had to watch the movie for this book.
It's the
Even though
same.
the Gladiator movie has like pretty much nothing to do with the meditations. But like, yeah, I just watched the movie. That's it.
Damn.
No, I've been reading. An older translation of the Meditations, and then I have a newer translation. And dude, the newer translation is kind of like, I hate it. I don't like it at all. But some of the formatting is slightly better. But it's got that like new age, like it's lost its luster. Like, you know, in the old version, the George Long translation, it'll be like, thou wouldn't do like what thou can't when thou in efflux of time or whatever. And I'm like, wow, that sounds poetic. And the new one's like, yo, dude, you can't do what's inside your control, man. And it's like, okay. Like the old translation is like, all I am is a bit of flesh and breath and a ruling part. And the new one's like, yeah, so it's like mind, body, spirit, bro. Here's how you injure your soul. Here's the 5 ways that you injure your soul. And the old one is like, you can injure the core integrity of your body by doing like thous thing. Like it sounds so much better. And I read the new one, and it's like, it's so bad.
It's
I
some
hate it.
dude bro trying to sell you on his like merchandise.
Yeah, dude, it's actually, here, I'll pull it up. It's terrible. Yeah, this is the one. It's the one with the fucking red Poe. Like, it's just edgy. Look at that. It's got the Edgar Allan Poe on there. But yeah.
The Poe Meister.
Yeah, like it's silly to try to escape other people's faults. They are inescapable. Just try to escape your own. Wow. I feel like there needs to be a dude there. Dude.
Brother.
You can't escape other people's faults. You can only escape your own. Just try to escape your own, dude. You're in the Matrix.
We all just need to escape our own, dude.
Yeah, we just need to worry about ourselves. That's the problem. See, the problem is you're so focused on other people.
Hey, man.
I fucking hate it.
You pass me that joint?
But it's great because you really get a bigger picture. And then the reason that... So, like, I didn't realize that my Great Books of the Western World had Marcus Aurelius in it because it's fucking tucked in a book of three other people. And I didn't realize that M. Aurelius was Marcus Aurelius. So I was like, oh shit, I actually have the translation that I read digitally that I like. And I bought the other one, and I was like, man, this sucks. And then when it pulled in the lottery for book club, I was like, please, anything but the red one. Like, I don't want it. And so they have another translation. So we have 3 so I need to buy that one and read that too. So I'm going to read all 3.
Wow. That's a lot of work.
They're only like 100 pages.
Is it just like, okay, so what is the basis of it?
Yeah, so the basis is that Marcus Aurelius is like a famous emperor and like general or whatever, but he wrote like kind of like just a bunch of things he liked and wanted to remember. That's essentially what it is. And at the time he was alive, and some of the things that he embodied philosophically was the Stoic philosophy, like that was popular during his time.
Yeah.
And he, you know, I guess emulates and does and has the ideology of a lot of Stoic philosophy, so that's why they credit him with like Stoicism, even though he didn't really create stoicism. He just practiced it to
Yeah.
some extent. So essentially it is, yeah, just like 100 pages of like a book that was primarily meant like for himself, almost like a diary.
Yeah.
Of like, sometimes it's just quotes from plays that he likes. Like you're just watching movies and you're like, dude, that was a fucking, dude, that guy said something really real. It hit me right here.
It's basically someone's phone notes from
It's
now.
literally phone notes.
Yeah.
Like I have a version of the meditations in my phone of quotes I like.
Exactly.
And things I want to remember and people I'm grateful to for teaching me lessons during life. Like it's the same thing. That's basically what. But older, you know, some of the stuff is still relevant today because it's Stoic philosophy. And there's been this upturn in like, men can't have feelings because if you let your feelings take over you, you'll never be Chad.
Is that what's happening now?
Yeah. Well,
but we
there's
just did the other one.
there's like that.
We just went through the other side. Men can have feelings. We just did that.
Yeah, there's like that rise of the alpha male podcaster. I think to a certain extent there is a rise of it, and I think it's just there's a lot of like young men that need direction sort of thing, and so they're like, you know, we should go back to the Stoics. And,
Yeah, but isn't that like?
And I'm not saying Stoic philosophy is bad by any means. There are some there's aspects from everything that are completely valuable. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, isn't there like a big problem with like everybody being depressed and like wanting to kill themselves and not dating or anything, just working out and working?
It's interesting. I actually had a conversation with Jade the other day, and she was talking about, she was watching a video, and I don't know how good the study is, but I thought it was an interesting stat to throw out there. And it was like they were polling men on like who they're trying to impress more so. Like, is it other men or women when it comes to like, you know, being respected? Like, who do they care about respect from? And young men, on average, care about men's respect more than women, which is interesting. I don't know what, I mean, I haven't processed that long enough to think about it or even looked up the stats. I don't know how true it is, but it's food for thought, right? That like, you know, if you're trying to court women, you're going to try to gain respect from men instead of women's respect. I don't know. It's interesting to me.
I think that, yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense because, well, so like from what I can tell, a lot of men have the Sigma male grind set. And so like they just want to work and do stuff, and women are like the secondary. Like, oh man, eventually I'll just have like a wife or something, but I gotta grind out this job.
I think there's a lot of people, I think there are people that do that, but I don't think it's as big as a population as possible.
No.
Like, how many guys actually go to the gym once a week or even work out?
I've been going 3 times a week.
I mean, yeah, but you're an exception here.
I know.
don't think the general public is going to the gym, even if they have a continued gym membership they pay for. Like, on average, what is it, like 14% of people go to the gym or have a gym membership and
actually use it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think I don't know. I think that there are people that, like, they don't just go to the gym or whatever, but they might do, like, a sport on a weekend. Like, I know a guy that doesn't go to the gym at all, but he does, like, baseball in the summer, hockey in the winter. So, like, he's probably getting plenty exercise from that. Possibly also fishing, but that's like
obviously,
but like
big calorie burner there.
Yeah, cracking open Bud Lights.
Oh shit, Bill, I feel a tug.
Hey, wake up! Wake up! Oh, Jesus!
Just cracks his beer accidentally. Shit, man, there's so much estrogen in this Budweiser now.
So much estrogen.
Did I tell you I've been thinking about going trans, Bob?
We could still go fishing and shit, but I'll have tits.
I didn't think you'd mind. I'll let you cop a feel every once in a while.
No, you know what, Bill? I don't mind if you do that at all. I'm here for you. I'm strong, and you can lean on me. Come here and kiss me.
It's just a bro thing. No homo.
Anyway, gotta go back to the wife. Better start reeling in the lines.
Reels it in, accidentally like brushes the shoulder of him. They look at each other. Just start making dude, we're writing a better movie than any of the remakes they're making now, dude. I hate them.
Dude, all we gotta do is just, even though short films and stuff are just dead, you know, and they don't get any views or any money really, just do that.
Yeah, honestly.
What's the point? You know, what's the point of not doing that?
What else has been on your mind lately?
I've been thinking about stuff like that, just like short little thingies. I've been trying to find ways to make a living that isn't the thing that I'm doing because I'm bored of what I'm doing and I want to do something more interesting, or at least something new. At least even if it was just a hobby or something that like I don't know. I like working on things.
Is there something that's resonating with you recently?
I tried to get into like all the AI
Hmm.
stuff, but the AI stuff is I don't know, dude. It's just so. Anytime I think of an idea for an AI something, I'm like, okay, so let's put this into practical use. No one would ever use it. All right, continue.
Yeah, when I think of practical use for AI, I'm reminded of that story that my cousin sent me of like some airline had like an AI chatbot to like resolve basic information about like the airline, and somebody had asked if they could like refund a ticket if like because of funeral reasons or something like that. Like they have some kind of process for that, and that bot gave them incorrect information about the refund policy for the website,
Yeah,
and the person when they went to do the refund, like the obviously that wasn't their policy, but they had to end up honoring the policy in court because that was what the bot told them, and the
yeah,
bot was supposedly supposed to give them correct information about the thing. So it's like, it could just hallucinate you losing money basically as a
pretty much.
business.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, like, there's certain things where like you can think of, at my job, right? I was like, okay, what if I trained an AI bot on robot programs, and I go like, hey, so I saved time by doing this, and basically gave it the old program, the new program, trained it, saying I saved this much time by doing this. And basically just getting enough of that information put into the robot to where it has a good data set to go like, oh, let me try to speed up things automatically. I was like, oh, what a good idea. Well, so if I wanted to make this into a product, what am I going to do? Because I'm not going to be able to sell this to a plant because they're going to want someone down there to like check it, make sure that the AI isn't going to just explode or do whatever
Oh
to the
yeah.
machine. On top of that, everything that's done on these machines is like on the line, so you have to be there physically anyway. So somebody would have to basically plug in and go like, "Go AI," and then go and check it all.
Yeah, and watch it and see if it's right or yeah.
Yeah, so it wouldn't do that much because you could just hire someone to come in and make the robot faster anyway. So the eventual idea was maybe it'll be faster than a human could do it because it could just see the maybe map out the points better and go like, oh, if I do this type of move here, something a human wouldn't normally think of or whatever, then maybe there'd be some time saving or what have you. But to put in all this development to make it like something that it would have to be either cloud based because they take a lot of storage, or you'd have to have like a unit that like you bring to a place and plug into a robot like
Yeah,
a
there's a lot of questions that need to be answered for this. Yeah.
yeah. And so it's like, okay, well that seems like although cool, bad ish idea. I had one where it was, and I think this one's actually doable, and somebody will probably steal this if it hasn't already been
Your wife's
created.
gonna take the idea.
Pretty much, yeah. But basically, if somebody's on the phone and they're like customer service, okay, and I thought of this because I'm doing the insurance sales stuff, and so the AI is listening in, hearing the conversation, both your side and the customer side, and basically taking in that information, automatically filling it into a sheet. So you're the person asking the questions. The AI is just automatically doing stuff, and it has a memory. So if the person asks, hey, what time do we have our next meeting or whatever, the AI will just like pop up like, oh hey, this is 4:30. So you're not writing down stuff because what I see a lot of the time is whenever I've like hung out with the people that sell insurance that I'm in the same company as, um, they have like notepads out and they're all like messy. They got shit all over them and all that stuff, and everything needs to be typed in anyways at some point. If you have to type in a name, a phone number, what have you, they're writing all this stuff down, then going back and typing it all out. Well, that you could save yourself some work by just having an AI over here and you just click to copy, paste it into whatever other form you need it to.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, but okay, so what do I need to do this?
Voice recognition software,
Uh-huh.
something that listens on both phone
Hmm.
lines, some sort of app on the computer that
Something.
stores the conversation.
Yep. And so basically, you kind of need that, and you don't want it to store anything because if you're doing insurance, you need social security numbers and junk like that. So you just want it to be like this instance that pops up. Here's all the information. Then you go like, all right, reset, deletes everything. Um, okay, to run this type of system, once again, either on a cloud or you're gonna have to get this. Either I don't know if you can get something that's small enough to do voice. I know voice recognition is fairly easy. That can be done fairly easily and then thrown into an AI. Well, how big do I need to make an AI that can keep track of this information, know what kind of key information we're looking for, and then paste that into some kind of program? There's a lot of like iffy
Yeah.
stuff that I don't really know how to do, but I started on that one and I kind of got it to a point where it knew like a sales script and I told it that it was listening in a conversation and holding on to important information. But the output is where it's kind of failing because you have to ask something to get an output from an AI. So I'm constantly just feeding information. It's maybe taking it, but it's constantly sending out responses that I don't really need. So it's hard to figure out.
Yeah, it's almost like it's like a post processing thing you have to do where you just record the call and then you give it to an AI to extract all the information in text so you can just quickly go over it.
Yeah,
That almost seems.
but you want it to be live, right?
Yeah.
Because I want it to help me while I'm on the phone, so I can go faster to get information into a thing to,
Yeah.
you know.
Considering the 48 laws of power, here's a way to manipulate this person, particularly based on this information, and how to get exactly the information you need out of them.
Exactly. So basically,
Consider using an intimidation tactic on this particular individual.
perfect.
Thank you, AI. If you don't fucking sign up for that.
Seeing as though she's 87 years old, she doesn't have much time to live.
Yeah.
Tell her that.
Comparing the recent American statistics of cardiology, it seems that based on her obesity markers, she will not be living much longer. Consider using this as information relevant to the discussion in order to encourage her to get life insurance for her remaining family constituents.
Excellent.
Perfect.
But yeah, perfect. Let's just do
Honestly,
that.
that's what you need to use the AI for.
Well, yeah.
Recommending 48 laws of power strategies. Oh
You
my
just have it read the most based.
Yeah. I'm sensing a wavering, stuttering in their voice. Utilize this in order to abuse their
weak.
self-consciousness about themselves.
Hey, I can't hear you. You're stuttering.
Yeah. Consider giving them a backhanded compliment to lower their self-esteem. For somebody that stutters, you're surprisingly good at talking.
Yeah, pretty much.
For somebody that breathes really loudly, it's surprising that you can even get out of your chair.
Are you sure you need the insurance? I'm sure you could start working out now. But yeah.
Are these actually podcast topics?
Yeah, I got quite a bit.
Dog, this guy's in. He's locked in.
I've been trying to take things a little bit more seriously.
Yeah, you've been trying to take things more seriously lately.
What is that? Yeah, what if we just did? 1 second. Let me. You know, you got a little beer on your cheek.
Yeah. Yeah. Got a little bear on there.
Yeah, you get a little sweat too.
Do you mind if I lap this up for you, Bob?
But yeah, so basically, everything's slowing down, work-wise, industrial, 0 phone calls, 0 job postings. Everything just is like going down to a point where if we don't start getting work, there's definitely going to be like a lull and stuff, which is part of why I'm trying to do this.
Makes sense. I see you putting in the 9 to 5 Elden Ring days.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah, you wake up, just... Actually, you're using controllers. So,
I am on controller, yeah. I don't use controller for like much else, you know. But yeah, so I've been trying to do that. I've been trying to get like new ideas. I'm like, what if I invest in companies and just do stuff with that? Like not necessarily angel funding or whatever, or what do you call that? Angel investing, right? But like investing, if somebody has like an actual good idea, I feel like I'd be good on the business-ish end, and
You're gonna start your own like blue collar Shark Tank, is what you're telling me.
yeah, where I don't have a lot of money either,
Yeah.
but
I'll give you $1,000 for 20%.
yeah, stuff like that. But I mean, like, I don't know, like I feel like I have a good grasp on industrial stuff, and so if somebody has anything industrial or what have you, I feel like I can fill gaps in knowledge and do stuff like that, and it's something that I think about, and I'm like, oh, that makes me feel pretty good about myself. If I could be someone who can just go from company to company or whatever and just get their stuff to work or whatever, I'd love to do that. So I've been trying to figure out how to get into anything like that. No ideas on that so far.
But you gotta have a business that is named exactly what that is. So it could be guy that makes stuff work.
That perfect.
And then you have a name tag, a big one that just says, "Hi, my name's Sam. I make stuff work."
Yeah.
And then you just go into the bit and you start shaking hands. That's the first thing you do. You start shaking hands.
Hey.
Hey, I make stuff work.
Yeah.
You have a problem, I could probably figure it out.
I'm literally anything.
And that's your whole market. You just walk into any business, go to the bakery. You have a problem? My name's Sam.
I'm here.
I'm a guy that can make stuff work.
You ever watch Nathan For You?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I become.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wear a chest cam.
Yeah.
Dude, actually,
I monetize it.
Business idea you probably didn't hear of that has been gaining grounds in my YouTube feed that I thought was pretty entertaining. This guy, I think his name was like Asian Andy. I don't know what his he's like a kick streamer or something. I don't know if he's controversial, whatever. I found this video super funny. He had a piece of real estate property, I think in like California or something, and he had to deal with like a squatter problem because the squatter rights is like, oh, if they stay there, they can't be evicted or whatever because, if the house is not in use, then a squatter can gain control of it. It's in order to, it's like an old antiquated thing, obviously,
Yeah.
to keep people from having unused land.
Yeah.
Makes sense, but obviously in the modern day, it's used improperly.
Yeah.
But anyways, he had this lady, I think it was like, I don't know, some woman that was squatting in his house. So what he did I think he hired this guy. I don't know what, or if he paid him or what, or if the guy just did it for free. But this dude live streamed 24/7 being like an obnoxious, like fucking guy. Like that's all he did. Like he was like half naked. He's like pouring water on the floor. He's like running music 24/7. He's like cooking in the kitchen and shit. He just keeps banging on the door that the woman's behind. Yeah. He keeps like looking in the window from like and stuff. And he's like, "I can see you, Mary. I can see you." Like just being like a total menace. And she keeps calling the cops on him to get him, but they obviously like kind of know what's going on and that she's staying here and she's not supposed to be here and they can't evict her. So he's just trying to be as annoying as fucking possible to get her to leave. And eventually she does like leave and he's like chasing her down the street and like going after her. Yeah, and just like hazing her basically. Like
Oh my God.
it's great. That's a business you could start up.
You just have someone hire you to live stream you
Yeah.
just harassing a
Harassing
person.
squatters.
We live in a good state for it.
Yeah, there's like yeah, honestly, dude, that would be fucking crazy business. You would get passive income from the YouTube videos, you'd get active income from the streams,
And the people
and
paying
the people would pay you.
Yeah. What's up? You just like kick in the door. What's up, guys?
Literally, dude.
Squatter's like, no.
Like this guy is just like, "Mary, I think it's getting wet in here," and he just keeps like pouring water on the floor and like shoving it under the door. Like it's crazy. It's super wild. I was like, man, that's a business idea, dude.
The guy's just being as annoying as possible.
Yeah, he's like just like an ADHD, like autistic kid. It's like what it is. It's like stomping around, knocking on doors, calling her name. I think he keeps like accusing her of like sexually assaulting him loudly. Oh my God.
Jeez.
Like, she keeps trying to talk to the police, and the only thing you can hear in the background is like, Mary, you keep touching me. I'm 17. It's so good.
I mean, like, here's the thing, right? You know, I feel bad for the squatter because she's probably just looking for a place to live that doesn't cost $1 million. But at the same time, like,
it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a certain amount of like, yeah, I can empathize with this person, and then also like there's an amount of righteousness of like, yeah, this isn't your property, so you shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Even though we all agree the housing market is absolutely stupid.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I get it, it's expensive, but also this person has this property and they probably either earned it or got it somehow.
Yeah, it doesn't
and
even matter how they got it. They just own
doesn't.
it.
Yeah. It's just that
there is a
this is
certain
theirs.
justifiableness where I can suspend my moral disbelief if it's like a corporation that owns like a
Yeah,
property.
okay,
And it's a
yeah.
bunch of, like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't think corporations should own private
Yeah.
property. I think that's stupid.
like the banks owning the whatever, buying a bunch of houses and
Yeah.
renting them out.
Or
pretty much.
BlackRock, yeah.
That's the one,
Yeah, doing all, like, dude, I am full. We'll send squatters there. I will pay people to squat there. I am cool with that. I honestly I think that's crazy. But, you know, there's also the libertarian warring aspect of myself that everyone should just be allowed to do whatever they want within reason, obviously, to a certain extent. Assuming you're not harming anyone else, I guess.
I think it was like that, and then they made rules because it was too whatever.
I think there's been there's been changes.
Yeah, so it's like I think at the beginning of every like country, it was libertarian as possible, right? Because everybody just had to do that stuff. But then as like time went on, they're like living in towns. They're like, oh, living in a town's pretty good because I get food and water,
but
and
I gotta
everybody
deal with Bob's shit, and I don't want Bob to be able to wake up every morning and blare music at 6 a.m. So I gotta put a law in place about that.
Yeah, I gotta go to town hall and yell.
Yeah.
So, but you know, I think it's just eventually you get to that point. If you live outside of like towns and stuff, I feel like you pretty much can be your libertarian self. You don't need the power grid.
Speaking of that, before you go to your next topic, and at the end of next month, I got invited to go on a backpacking trip in the Upper Peninsula. So like we're gonna try to survive in the woods for 4 to 5 days.
Wow.
Yeah. That'd be pretty awesome. Yeah, my buddy was talking about doing it, and I was like, oh, it sounds pretty awesome. And he was like, you want to go? And I was like, I don't know anybody but you, but yes, let's do it. They're like, we're going to try it. Like, a couple of the guys are only going to do, like, a couple days because they keep claiming it's, like, too much to do, like, however many miles. I think it's, like, 15 miles total or something. But they're like, it's too much to do.
With, like, a full pack, it is a lot.
Yeah, and, like, my buddy said he's been training with one of his friends, and they've been doing, like, walking with like 30-pound backpacks or something.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'll go. I'm going all the way. We're not stopping. I don't care. Even if I got to fast for the 7 days, we're going to do it. And he was like, okay, I wasn't sure if I was going to make it, but, you know, you're in there pushing us, I'm sure. So I think it'll be fun. I'm excited.
That's cool.
He gave me his old hammock, so I'm going to try to do hammock sleeping for all the days. I need to get like a rain cover for it.
Yeah.
And I got to figure out what food I'm going to pack, if any. And I want to do it barefoot as well.
You definitely should pack food.
I'm going to pack, like, I think nuts, and then probably, like, I don't know, jerky or something.
Yeah, you can get, like, MREs, too, if you want to, like, get some complex proteins and junk.
I'll figure something out.
Yeah.
I'll look into it. I haven't gotten the rest of the information yet. I don't know what the date is, but...
You just carry a cooler with you. You just have, like, a big one.
Yeah. Yeah, just get get a nice full-ass cooler with rubber tires.
Yeah.
Take that in the Upper Peninsula. I think it'll be awesome. I'm kind of excited.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I haven't done anything like that. I've never shat in the woods. It'll be fun.
Wow.
Like just, squat shitting in a random hole somewhere. I've never
good luck with that one.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'm going to probably use some poison ivy to wipe my ass or something.
That's good, yeah. See, I have the poison ivy immunity.
Yeah.
Because I've ran through it, and there's
probably same for me.
Yeah. Well, you say that
until it happens.
See, that's I always say it, and then I'm like, but do I? What if it wasn't? Like, people told me it was poison ivy, but what if they were wrong?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're gonna find out. I'm gonna have hopefully something to tell the podcast after we're done with it.
Yeah. You should no, you shouldn't vlog it. No.
I might take that tiny camera you lent me and bring it out there and get some footage.
What's up, guy?
Yeah. What's up, guys? It's me and 4 other men I've never met before in the woods. Let's see how this goes.
Damn.
No,
If you need backup, let me know.
yeah, I'll
I'll
let you
just
know.
show up.
Yeah. From what I understand, we got to do some weird shit. Like they're gonna drive ahead in one car to put a car at the end location, and then we're gonna drive back to the start, and then whatever. I guess
that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
So you drop off your stuff and
yeah.
the people there, and then you
something. We gotta do some weird car shuffling. But it should be cool. I'm excited. I've never done that before, so.
Yeah, my cousin's been talking about doing camping, but that's different. You just
different
set
than
up.
surviving in the woods.
I mean, you just can't.
Backpacking.
Yeah, backpacking. You got to watch Operation Backpackers.
Yeah,
that's an old one.
I'll have to watch them all.
It's a YouTube poop.
I'm actually just gonna spend like 30 hours researching and watching that guy that made a cabin in Alaska and died alone. I think it's called like Alone in the Darkness or something, Alone in the Wilderness, whatever it is.
Probably. I mean,
it's a famous documentary.
Go for it.
Yeah.
You know, that'll teach you, but just don't do the end part.
Yeah, no, obviously not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna bring a Glock? You gonna bring like 7 guns?
I don't know if I even need a gun. I think
there's
I
bears.
can run
I think that's
bear.
about it. You think? Wow, this guy's got a lot of confidence.
I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring, so I think
you like see the bear, you start rolling.
Yeah, I've been practicing parkour. I know that you're supposed to, when you go to roll, you're supposed to roll from this part of your shoulder to the lower part of your back. So that's the thing I'm practicing. It's the shoulder down.
You'll like see the bear, and it goes like, and you're like, I know.
Yeah, like, the adrenaline kicks in, and everything's like 10 frames a second.
Yeah. That's his tell. He puts his paw up, and that's the smack.
Yeah, after I take a couple of hits, I'm like, dude, give me a health potion. He's like, dude, you're bleeding out. I just wrap it up.
You know, like with a flask, you can like hit the top of it, and it spins off. You like do that, and like,
yeah,
take a double sipper.
The bear is just like. Like frozen. Like in that stupid bear position that they always fucking taxidermy it in.
After he roars twice, that means he's going for the long reach scratch.
Yeah. I roar back.
Are either you guys? Can you guys give me a buff? Do you have a buff?
Throw me the stick.
Yeah.
My buddy throws me a stick. The bear just like breaks in half. Give me a better stick.
Oh, dude, you could bring I got a quarterstaff. There you go.
Even better.
Yeah, I'll let you borrow it.
Yeah.
You just.
I'm gonna bring a bow staff. I have one.
There you go. Keeps them off you.
Yeah. Yeah, but I do want to do it barefoot if possible. I will bring shoes in case there's, something really strenuous or something. But
I think that you would tear open your feet.
I don't think so.
I think if you look up people who do it, they wear like the barefoot shoes, but they don't go barefoot because I think that your feet die.
I'm going to do it barefoot to start, and we'll see how far I get.
I think that
It's only maybe 15 miles.
Do it the other way.
No.
Okay.
You're too conservative with your...
I, too, enjoy being barefoot, but I do think that there's a reason why people hike with shoes on.
Nah, dude. I read once that Alexander the Great did all of his campaigns barefoot and with nothing on his head in every season.
Good for him.
I'm doing that.
All right. I mean, you do walk around, like, around here barefoot, so... Yeah.
I think worst case scenario, it'll be more podcast content.
I got gangrene in my feet.
Dude, so like 1 mile in, I stepped on a fucking porcupine.
A whole porcupine.
Yeah, and I spent the rest of the trip hobbling.
Jesus.
I had to build a splint, and while I was building the splint, a fucking bear attacked me. But luckily I had the splint secured, so I kicked the bear several times. My buddy grabbed his badminton racket and broke it over the bear's nose. And then I tickled his nose with some feathers I found.
And then we used our combo tag team move where I pick him up and throw him at the bear.
Luckily, during my dodge roll, I had a couple of invincibility frames to spare, and so I kicked him in the nuts. It was a female bear, though, upon further inspection. and she was unfazed and, in fact, more angry after the ball kick that I'd learned from Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat 2.
It buffed her damage.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it allowed her to use Enrage. Then I noticed some cubs nearby. So, understanding a maternal instinct, I grabbed one of the cub's legs and beat her over the face. Her snout surfacing through the badminton racket. Me shuttlecocking her in the face with her children.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
My buddy screaming like a girl and pissing in the woods.
I learned from my ancient ancestors, and I shat in my own hand and threw it at the bear.
Luckily, it was kind of hard. It was like a rock.
I threw the shit. Direct hit right into her eye.
Then I accidentally, after dodge rolling into a picker bush, decided I could use this to my advantage. And I wrapped myself in it like that one famous priest who wanted to get rid of concupiscence.
By having my HP, I doubled my defense.
Yeah. I added armor with that, which had the Thorns ability. Whenever the bear attacks me, it takes equal amounts of damage. Then I decided to take a play out of the playbook of the eco survivalist and hug the bear. The bear was displeased and used Enrage again, to the great dismay of my now torn open back. My buddies continuing on the hike, ignoring the battle.
They did not roll for initiative. Instead, they kept walking.
Yeah. Deciding that my fate was my own, and that they couldn't deal with anybody else's problems but their own.
After reading the book,
After reading Marcus Aurelius' The New Translated Mention of the Meditations by Gregory Ayes, they continued onward with shoes. But they didn't know that I had a secret up my sleeve, or rather, in my feet. For I've been stretching my toes and can pinch quite considerably between the big toe and the second toe, whatever that one's called. Pinching the bear's nipples. I managed to suplex it.
If only I had noticed the fog gate in front of the bear, I wouldn't have engaged.
Luckily, I had a respawn location quite nearby. It was a Red Bull I had placed 5 trees back. A little breadcrumb trail for myself in case things went awry.
You just walk back around the corner, the bear's like...
Yeah, it's still in that fucking position. Suddenly, I found a rattlesnake. Hearing the slight shimmer of the rattle, I grabbed it by the tail and decided to use it as my new weapon. My buddies far out of sight now. The horizon vanishing point in the distance, just the back of their heads were visible. Sundown, I'm still fighting. The snake has bitten me 5 times, but it's bitten the bear 6. My chances are looking up.
I tried to extract the venom from the snake to make a buffing potion. I failed. It has poisoned me.
Now I can't stop shitting. The bear, quite displeased that his meal would have to involve me being shat on myself, retreats. Victory for me.
I yell out in victory and then pass out.
3 hours later, I smell a bit of a campfire 10 miles up the way. I start limbering there.
I'm out of flasks. And...
Crawling to a nearby river, I find some mushrooms that look dangerously scrumptious.
Dangerously.
On the other side of the river is the bear I fought with yesterday. Me being clean from the river, the bear decides round 2 happens today.
Jesus.
I scream. No, just how long do we just keep this plot going?
I scream to apply the buff, terrified
Yeah.
to myself.
The bear, sensing I've shit myself again, retreats.
I tried to find the nearest rattlesnake. I'm addicted to the venom.
I'm having withdrawal. I didn't think this could happen. I was not privy to this information before setting out on my courageous hike. Barefoot. Yeah, so I'm hoping that'll be good podcast content.
Yeah, that'll be cool. But yeah, dude. You should shave yourself bald.
Maybe.
Before. Because a friend of ours has recently done that. And we've been going to the gym. And so, like, we made jokes before that, like, he's going to go to the gym and, like, everybody's going to be, like, a homie to him all of a sudden. Just, you know, look out for him because he's bald now. And so we went to the gym after he shaved. And, like, I kid you not, the first thing that we're doing, we're, like, on one of the pulley whatever machines that you can adjust. And, like, he's using, like, a weird bar because we couldn't find the straight bar. And a bald man next to him was like, no, man, you don't want to use that one. Use this bar. First day, hour 1.
Yeah, hour 1. Chad surfaces. Broship made.
The bald head squad.
Yeah.
The real one. They've
Dude.
shown. So
There's
yeah.
so much fraternity for bald heads.
Honestly, there was another one. Like we were literally yesterday, same exact like scenario. The guy's like, oh yeah, that's good form. Like, like,
yo, keep it up. Slaps your ass.
yeah. Like I don't get any of these, and I go to the
Rubs
gym.
your
No, he takes his head, puts it up against your head,
Yeah.
rubs it.
Yeah, bald rubs.
Yeah, that way you share sense.
Yeah.
But you know, I just thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah,
It,
that's
like,
awesome.
You become bald, you get into the bald brotherhood.
Yeah.
Brotherhood.
Yeah, you and 30% of other men. Male pattern baldness.
Yeah. Well, he had some hair still,
Hmm.
but you know,
Hey,
sometimes
whatever. It's, yeah.
you just get rid of it.
Yeah, just,
Aerodynamic
yeah.
egg. So.
What the bear didn't know was that I suffered from male pattern baldness, and it was midday. I tilted my head at the right angle, blinding the bear temporarily to kick in the nuts.
It was a female
But I made
bear.
a mistake. It was still the female bear from yesterday.
But
There's a point where this keeps going, and it's like not funny, and then it becomes funny again.
again,
Yeah.
once we get through like 4 more subjects,
Yeah.
it'll be like because every time you just
Yeah.
Add
I
on
add
a little
another.
bit.
Yeah.
yeah
Another backlog of references.
yeah. So you know, there's that. Did you ever watch Kurtzstedt, the German name YouTube video company?
No, I haven't.
Okay. But basically, they make videos on whatever.
Okay.
Their last main video was Smoking is Awesome,
Okay.
where they go into how good smoking feels, but how terrible it is for you
That's kind of funny.
into detail. Yeah, they start out the video by being like, you feel so much better and your body works way better whenever you're smoking. But then you die, basically. And so they did one on calories.
Okay.
How calories work, which I wish I would have known, or how exercise affects calories and stuff. Your exercise has very little play on how many calories you actually burn.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you went out and, like, did a bunch of exercise, you might burn an extra, like, 100, 200 calories a day, but your body always has, like, a certain amount it's trying to spend every day. And so whether it spends that, like, if you just sit and do nothing, it's still going to try and spend that amount. And if you have a bunch of extra calories because you've done nothing during the day, it'll spend it making like cortisol, which is bad for you, or like just running your brain a lot, or like spending it on like random heart rate increases. Whatever spends those calories, your organs will just be like, oh, I can use those. Let me just go ahead and make some more whatever. And so I found that really interesting. I wish I'd known this information for a really long time, because I always assumed that like working out was like that's the only way you're going to burn calories to like lose weight, but in reality you just have to eat less food, which it makes sense.
Mhm.
And working out helps that because it reduces your body's want to make cortisol because it has to use that energy now rather than making random hormones or running whatever. It goes like, well, I got to repair cells. So
It's kind of interesting because it almost fits in my worldview of like this idea that like anxiety and stuff is like your body encouraging you to like move or like do something.
it makes sense.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
kinda, I mean, from that perspective, it does make sense.
I mean, like, and I guess this is, I'm only quoting it from a video. I
Yeah.
haven't, researched any of this outside of that. But I mean, like, if what they're saying is correct, and they do have like studies and stuff attached to it, it's a really good YouTube channel. I'll send it to you or something.
Yeah.
But, it, it's just like, it makes a whole lot of sense why we are, how we are functionally. Like if we had to like go out and like track a deer for like an entire day and we needed like more calories to keep moving, that would be really bad. Do you know what I mean? Like if I spent way more calories hunting a deer, I would run out of calories and just die. Whereas if I'm always spending like a very similar amount of calories, I have a little bit of fat reserve or whatever so I can burn that. But like I'm still only spending like 2,100 calories or so consistently. So, I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense what I just said, but
It's interesting. You're essentially talking about what I understand to be the basal metabolic rate of calories you burn and then some other shit.
but your entire body only spends that much. You can eat more food and it'll make fat, but it'll use energy to make that fat as well. But basically, you're always spending about the same amount of calories every day.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, see, every Tuesday I spend more calories because I squat fuck the hell out of my 10-pound sex doll. So
Wow,
that's like me going out for the hunt.
that is.
And then I get in the mating press position, and then
you're breeding.
I'm
Yeah.
breeding.
You're there.
My God-given right.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Actually, I was trying to make a joke there. I was just trying to do shock value, but yeah, there was something I heard recently that has been rattling in my brain forever, and it was about how it was like a guess or something that like people that are gay just have a like defective reproduction instinct.
Okay.
I just thought that was interesting to consider.
Okay.
Like because they always talk about like all this stuff of like microplastics and all this like things affecting your like endocrine system and things like that, and so it becomes like a real like chicken and the egg situation, right? Because like are you actually gay, or is it just that you don't feel like you want babies? Like, is that just the difference?
I don't know if that's the difference. I mean, like, okay.
This is like literally just a half-formed thought.
Oh,
so
yeah,
take it with a grain of salt.
No,
but
no,
I
I'm
read
not.
that and I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Because
like,
that's how I approach all information.
no, I gotcha. I mean, I'm similar, but like the thing is, like, isn't like don't they find males attractive? Don't gay people find male? Gay people out there, can you confirm this?
Can you comment?
But I mean, like, wouldn't you? Don't
It's
you
getting hot in
find
here.
it is a little bit, but don't you find like the same sex attractive?
Yeah, I don't understand it. I thought that was an interesting consideration of like, yeah, like if they do what? They find the same sex attractive. Like, is that what you would consider a defective reproductive instinct?
Well, like I'm saying, like, okay, so if you find females attractive,
Yeah.
okay, and you're a male, that's like the norm, whatever, and so you want to breed with the female, whatever. I mean, okay, yeah, no, it's basically the same exact thing that you just said. Yeah. Yeah, the defective thing. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like
I know that there's probably going to be some degree of like perhaps defective is too of a it's just like a not working.
Yeah, people would find that like offensive,
yeah,
so they would be like, no.
Yeah, that their initial gut reaction might be, but like if you don't want to have children or something, isn't that consider like I don't know. But then it doesn't explain bi people, right? Because then they're just
yeah.
I don't know.
I think that like I always thought of it like this, like okay, there's that like the foot fetish thing. People say that like the people that find feet attractive that part that identifies feet in your brain is next to the sexual organ one. And so sometimes there's a little bit of overlap. So whenever you get sexual arousal, you're like, oh, feet a little bit. You know, some people obviously it's stronger than others or whatever. So I always thought of it as like kind of the same thing. So like if you were straight, you find like vagina attractive. And this is a different scale, not necessarily like the body part scale, because I think that part of the brain just identifies sexual organ, not necessarily gendered, if that makes any sense. But in this way, you just have like an overlap where like you see penis or whatever, your same sex and the opposite sex, and it triggers the sexual response or whatever on both kind of. And so from both you would get the same response, and so you're like, oh, okay. I think that's more of the sexual attraction side of it. The part that I always was kind of confused about, I guess, was the I mean, you can really have a relationship with anybody, so whatever. Because you can be like really close friends with someone, have zero sexual anything. So yeah, I think I just figured the entire thing out.
Yeah, it sounds like you got this all figured out. You know, I kind of like the little bow you wrapped around that box.
You like that one?
So going forward, I'm going to consider that for now.
You like that one?
Until I ruminate on it more.
Yeah.
But I thought it was interesting because I saw like some kind of meme or something about like, you know, it being a defective reproductive instinct. And I was like, that's interesting because I've met people that are like, that don't seem to have that sort of, in the same way that some people have like this need to like constantly eat, or they're like always hungry, or they like are constantly thinking about food, and if they're not thinking about food, they're upset about the fact that they're not having food, sort of thing. Like they have that. Like I imagine there are just people that have some sort of, you know, they don't have that, and they're like, oh yeah, I guess I could just be with a man. Who cares? I don't want babies.
Yeah,
it's a hole.
I don't think it has anything to do with the offspring thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that there's like an innate, like, or there's just like something in you that's like, okay, we need to have sex to make child, and then there's like another part that's like take care of child, grow offspring, and I think that part is separate from the sexual part. I think
maybe.
So I think that there's gay people that probably want kids, is what I'm saying. I think
that makes sense.
Yeah, because I think that there's probably gay people that
now
are
that
like,
you broke it down for me.
Yeah, I got you. I think that there's gay people that are like, oh no, I would love to have a kid. So I'm clearly an ally.
Yeah, just say it to the camera.
I'm on the Axis and Allies. I'm on the ally side. No.
I play Axis and Allies 24/7.
Well, it takes that long to play the game.
Is it really that long of a game?
It's like Risk, but more complex. Yeah, I think so.
I haven't played it that much, but I used to remember when I would go get the D&D miniatures, they'd have the Axis versus Allies miniatures.
Yeah.
I was like, I kind of want to play that, but I wasn't like a World War II buff or anything. So.
I'm not either. So
yeah, the calorie thing is pretty interesting though.
Yeah, well, to go off your gay thing though.
Yeah.
So this is something that I've been thinking about a lot is how I heard, I was listening to another podcast. I know.
You got a lot of time on those hands.
What?
I said you have a lot of time on your hands for podcasts.
Yeah. While I'm at work, I can just put it in my ears.
Continue. This
I
distracted
play
you
video
more
games.
than I thought it would.
I play video games. I do. No, I smoke crack.
Yeah.
This
is
like,
my ad for hiring me.
What do I do?
Buy insurance.
But you know,
He's selling a Bronco.
Yeah, everything. But basically, okay, one of the guys on the podcast said, and this is the Terrence Howard and the Weinstein, I can't remember. Yeah, Weinstein guy. There was a podcast with both of them on there. And the Weinstein guy, basically, he had this quote that was like, I wish I could remember it perfectly, but it was basically, there are people that have a gift to make connections to everything. Everything connects to everything. You can find ways to connect them, which is where like conspiracy theories come from, which is where like new scientific theories and stuff like that kind of come from, is like people making connections from this thing to that thing to this thing to that thing to eventually get to something where it's like, oh, this is a thing. But it's, if you're really good at that, there's a high chance that you're sloppy at describing it and at showing your work, essentially. And then there are people that are really good at just showing work and being able to look at something and go like, this part and these aspects are in this thing, but they're not good at connecting it to the next thing. So I was thinking about this, and I think that I'm in that world, in this two-person world. I think I'm more of a connections person. I feel like I in my job, I find connections between things, not physically or whatever, but like I know this programming thing, and so I can understand using these little bits and pieces of stuff that I understand, I can understand this new thing. And I don't really need it described to me, but if I think about it and somebody just like kind of tells me what a thing about it, I can go, oh, okay, I can kind of fill in all the blanks and make this object real in my brain. I don't know if that was very clear, but basically,
If it's not clear, then doesn't that reinforce your argument of that you're that type anyways?
that's where I'm getting, yeah. So, yeah, I think I'm a connections guy.
I think you're a connections guy. Do you have any new conspiracy theories that you recently fell into that you can't explain?
No, see, but that's the thing, is that I could explain it. I just have to talk long enough, and eventually we'll get all the pieces there, and then we just got to figure out how they connect. Or, well, I'm thinking, in that world, I would be thinking of how they connect, but not able to describe well how they connect, other than I see the connection.
Yeah, there's something there. I'm gonna have to listen back a couple times, but there's something there.
Yeah. So, I thought that was kind of cool. I don't know if that... He describes it better, and I wish I just had like the clip or at least the full quote to kind of just cement what I'm trying to re-describe. But I kind of was thinking, I don't know, I thought about it for a really long time. And I always do the thing where I always go like, oh, let me think about this in the context of like my dad or mom or whoever, and think about how they would interpret whatever I'm thinking about. And then somehow that drew me to my family's kind of a connections thing. And I feel like a lot of people who connect things fall into conspiracies, right? Because you see a lot of thingies. So there's a word for this, actually. And this is where I was going the entire time. You thought I didn't have a direction, but actually I had a direction, and I'm gonna let you just say that because I can't.
Apophenia? Apophenia?
It might be like epiphany, phenia.
It looks like apophenia or something.
Yeah. So, but
Apophenia.
Yeah. So I think of it as like epiphany because people are seeing all these connections, which could be. See, I connected those things.
That's interesting. Yeah, honestly, the conspiracy stuff, I almost think it's like a psyop thing to keep people like that do have the capacity to learn things just trapped in a world of like inconsequential like QAnon shit. Like it's just like it's just believable enough to keep their brain like completely preoccupied.
Yes.
Without ever, delving any deeper beyond anything.
Yeah. And the people that are in those think that they're thinking a lot.
And this is from someone who used to frequent all the conspiracy subreddits and boards and everything. Like I feel like all it is just like the Georgia Guidestones, somebody got rid of them, they blew them up, but they originally had 10 tenets on them that resulted in like what the galactic world aimed to do. It's kind of eerie that this happened at the same time that the servers for Comcast were blown up during the election. Like, isn't it weird how that happened? And then, Kamala Harris, she recently just got out of surgery for getting her balls removed. Like, whatever. It's like, and there's not really like, much information, and then like 3 days later, like some guy's like, it's me on the field and I'm looking at the broken site of the Georgia Guidestones, and the police, they're trying to get me away from the site because it's dangerous, but I think they're just trying to keep out the secret because I know the secret because I've been on the conspiracy.
And he like walked past some like warning tape. He's like, no, it's not safe to go in there.
Isn't it weird how they have not one, not two, but 30 cameras pointed on the Georgia Guidestone site that all mysteriously went inactive when the Georgia Guidestones were blown up? Seems kind of fucking weird, doesn't it? If you look at the section 3 of the third rule of the Georgia Guidestones, it says love everyone together in a different language.
And
Now,
if,
this different language isn't American that I speak. It's a different language. So there must be something there.
And if you go ahead and you add up all of the numbers that I assign to each letter of each word,
Yeah.
it equals 666, and so George Bush was the devil.
Yeah.
And I knew it the whole time.
Using Jewish gematria, I can assign every letter a numerical value and then add those up to see if I can find the absolute truth of the objective reality of what we're facing through mathematical numeration.
Yeah.
And I can tell that Trump, in his address to China, where he speaks Chinese, a foreign language, in the third of the many guidestones, like it's just...
You can go on forever,
yeah,
yes.
it really is just...
But so here's...
And I counted 6 crows flew by in that moment. So I added 6 crows to the number of the 6 that I found in the third thing of this 9th, like... There are 30 cameras focused on me, 6 cops pointing their guns, and I took 5 rubber bullets to my dick. Rubber bullets by which are not made of rubber. They are metal bullets encased in rubber, and they're supposed to be shot at the ground and not at you.
And and then he signs off and he's like, and you guys do the math.
Yeah. And then he's like, before he's still like, even with all of that stuff and the anti-conspiracy thing, there's still like a level of like he has to connect with like the general audience in order to make it palatable. So he's like, comment, subscribe. I do this on TikTok too. And then he's like pointing, and there's like there's like a superimposed like flat Earth. And he's like, this is me, and we're on this. It's tipping. What?
It's tipping.
Yeah.
And he,
it's me, and he's bald too. He's like, judging by pointing I bought a $400 Chinese laser pointer off of Temu, and I'm shining it at my bald head, and it refracts off of the glass dome sealing in the flat Earth. Watch.
I can't see with my own eyes because I have to bend down, but I know it's there.
Yeah. And so I've been using 2 mirrors, one place here and one place there, to get the full view, and I can see just a flicker as the laser hits my eyes of the glass dome. That's why they tell you lasers, you can't point them at your eyes, because your eyes are awesome glass domes.
And I knew God was mad at me because I'm a little blind now.
Yeah. And as I was blind and stumbling, I felt something that felt like a bear I'd previously encountered. Deciding the only advantage I had in this situation was the laser pointer, I started flailing it about, hoping to demoralize and potentially blind the bear.
I quickly pressed start and looked through my items list, and I saw the laser pointer.
Yeah. The bear, never having seen Star Wars, was not intimidated by the light show. So no, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so, making connections.
Yeah, calories
And connections.
Yeah.
All that stuff. It's pretty good. What?
That's just me signaling the next.
Oh, okay.
The next
Okay.
topic.
Yes, sir. I shall bring into the next topic now. So basically, I'll read it word for word what I wrote down here.
Yeah, let's see it.
So Cody.
So Sam. That's it?
Class reunion? Question mark.
Oh yeah, is that coming up?
I guess October.
We actually have a class reunion in October?
Yeah, I guess so.
Really?
Yeah, I was invited, and then I looked on Facebook again, and I didn't see it anymore, and so I don't know what happened, if it's gone. But I had a dream about it.
Okay, so maybe it didn't happen?
Oh, afterwards. I remember hitting maybe on the invite and then closing out of Facebook, because I don't go on there more than every so often.
Yeah.
But so basically though, we have class reunification coming up.
Yeah.
Would you go to it?
I would consider it. I think that would be fun.
Yeah. Okay, then I would go. So, because I've been like, I think I would want to go, but not really, because I don't know, who do I even want to see? At the same time, who do I know?
It's kind of like
that
a
I would
lottery
wanna
thing,
see?
right? It's like, who is going to actually show up?
Yeah.
I think it would just be fun, even if any of the old teachers were there, to be honest.
Yeah, just to...
I doubt it, but it would be fun.
Well, see, here's the thing. It's not at the high school. It's at a bowling alley.
Oh, that's horrible.
Which makes it sound not as
I would rather
good.
be like a high school gym. sort of thing.
That's what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, like every movie I've ever seen of a high school reunification.
That's what I want. Yeah. The high school
Bowling alley,
reunification.
though. The idea of like, what is it, like a mixer? Are we speed dating?
Yeah.
Are we bowling together? How am I supposed to get a conversation in?
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah. Yo, old person I haven't talked to in 5 years that slightly bullied me when I was a child. Watch me throw these balls.
Yeah, check that out. You're not gonna bully this
Yeah.
anymore.
Look at that. This is gonna be your fucking face. You keep bullying me.
But I mean, like, I feel like the only people that are gonna show up though are just people that I didn't know to begin with that well.
Well, see, that's funny because I would say like all of our groups that we were in are probably the people that aren't going to show up.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
But for the people that will show up, I still think it would be fun.
That's what, yeah.
Even if it's just like whatever the, other cliques were that would actually be amenable to doing that.
Yeah.
It would be funny.
It would be. So I would show up just for.
Yeah, if you do, we'll podcast there.
That's what. So do you want to know what the next sentence was?
Oh no.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. We do a podcast there. Also, the fuck up is not having it at school. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's super funny. That would be just wear the mics the whole time.
Yeah, we just walk around. Hey, how's it going?
Body cam footage.
Oh, nice to see you.
Yeah. It's been like 10 years. Who are you?
Literally 10.
Yeah, literally 10. Dude, that would be amazing. I'll have to look that up, see if I was invited.
I couldn't find it on Facebook. I don't know. It
actually
disappeared.
You know what you would find really funny?
Yes. That guy?
No. I'm just gonna explain it. I don't want to dox the guy at all because I thought it was particularly hilarious. But Jade was trying to get a goose, and this guy wasn't answering his messages, and she was embarrassed and didn't want to send him multiple messages. So I was like, "Don't worry, honey, I got you." And so I was like, essentially what I did was I typed every word as a separate message, and so I put, "Hello. I am interested in the cement goose. When are you available? I can pick it up today or sometime this week. Let me know what works best for you." Period is a complete separate message. Yeah. Sorry for all the messages. My phone is broken. Did not respond. Unlisted the goose.
Damn, somebody stole the goose. Dude.
Somebody got the goose. It wasn't Jade. So Jade's been going hard looking for a goose.
Yeah. Also, Facebook's website. I don't know.
Does it suck? Is that what you're saying?
It does. Like I tried to find that invite and I couldn't even find like where the group things were anymore. I'm like, I don't even bring back like the weird sidebar, so that way I can find my garbage again. That's what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
With pokes on it.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Does that even work? I don't even. Are we old?
Apparently, we're 10 years past high school now, so.
Isn't that crazy? It's weird.
I'm almost 30.
Same. Well, I'm 2 years away, but.
Yeah, I'm same, but.
Yeah, we're almost there.
I feel 50.
It's the same thing. But no, isn't that it? Like I was like talking to my wife. I was like,
about going to the reunion? Or,
no. This was a different thing, but I was like, hey, I'm like, isn't it weird that we like live in the same house? Like I don't know what made me like all of a sudden go like, this is novel. Like something triggered in my brain where like we've been living together for 4 years. We've been married for 2-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Like.
Yeah, you like step back and you were able to like.
I was like,
view the timeline expand out.
Uh-huh.
It rolls out like a scroll. You're like, shit, dude.
Yeah, what happened?
You're like reconciling your life.
Yeah. I was thinking about
putting it in perspective.
Oh, dude, you should be an art guy.
I should do art.
Yeah.
I should do something in art. Holy shit, I never thought about that.
You should go like this.
I should be like an artist. Yeah. There's something about framing the thing that can allow you to find your twin soul. Did you hear about that? Have you heard about that cult recently?
Isn't that crazy?
Did you know that guy's from Michigan? He lives in Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't they live... Okay, I might be thinking of a different cult, but isn't there one that lives, like, north of Grand Rapids?
It's something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, they made, like, millions of dollars, and all they're like is, like, we're going to help you find your twin flame, because you have a soulmate out there.
That's
you do.
There's a
Minecraft
Netflix.
mod.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a Netflix documentary
Yeah.
and an Amazon Prime one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. I watched the Netflix one.
Yeah, I watched the Amazon Prime one so we can compare notes. They're different.
Yeah. I watched mine a while ago.
Okay.
But it was crazy that he just took those women and just were like, "No, you're lesbians now."
Yeah. No, actually, your twin flame is this person.
Yeah, nope, stop. Those
Yeah,
two.
perfect.
Yeah. And then they have to go like, "Of course.
Finally, we found our twin flame.
Do you want to do something together?" And
I've never felt this way before, but I guess if this guy says so, then
yeah. What wasn't there one where like she's like, "Oh, I definitely feel something for Jacob or whatever."
yeah.
And then the guy was like, "No, you're a lesbian now.
Yeah.
Here you go."
It's so weird. And then I watched a bunch of videos talking about the $500,000 Minecraft mod that he commissioned. And it's like it adds like Glocks and shotguns and stuff. And you have to like collect divine dishes, which is something they sell as well. Like they have a whole cooking
Oh yeah, I
aspect
remember
of
that.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's it's kind of impressive
That
that it's so easy to make a cult.
yeah.
Honestly,
It
to be
was-
frank.
Yeah. Well, wait, it's over with now, right?
No, I think it's still happening.
Is it?
I mean, there's documentaries on it, but I
That had
I
to have
imagine
slowed
there's-
it down.
I mean, it might have slowed down, but I bet there's still fucking people. It's like people have like a shelf life of like 2 weeks before the thing's forgotten and then they restart again.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, twin what? Twin dames? Yeah, it's like two girls, they get together and then they damsel in distress and then Mario say, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Was that
Fuck
like
it.
a?
It was like a video game movie or
Oh,
something.
dude, new Skibbity toilet.
Yeah, shit. Ooga booga.
Oh man, that's
My attention span is 2 weeks like that.
yeah.
So I'm gonna forget about twin flames and then I'm gonna get wrapped into it like.
Well, yeah.
This is about
know what?
me finding the inner self, isn't it?
As a podcast, we joined Twin Flames.
Yeah, SK lovers.
No. We both join at the same time, separate of each other.
Okay.
Okay. And we don't donate. I mean, I don't know how you get in, but
I don't know. You have to pay a lot of money for the classes, I think.
oh, okay. I was gonna say we just podcast the entire time.
Oh
So,
my
like-
God. Dude, it just reminds me of those kids that would break into those Zoom calls at the same time from like those old people that don't know how to use Zoom. They're like, yeah, today we're going to be doing book club and we're going to be talking about this sci-fi book we read. And the kids like both show up and they got the full mic set up and like the fucking LED lights behind them. They're like, yo, what's up? And the guy's like, are you supposed to be here? And he's like, yeah, this is the book club, right? And the old guy's like, yeah, I guess it's the book club. And he's like, oh, okay, sweet. And then like 5 seconds later, like 3 other like teenage kids show up and all in the same shit. And they're like, are you guys related? It's like, no, I never met him. And then there'll be like some woman that's like not talking at all. And they'll change their screen name to the
To
woman's
hers.
name. And then they'll start like shit talking in chat. And they're like, Janet, why you keep shit talking me in chat? Janet's like, it's not me. And then this guy's like, I'm personally offended that Janet would even say a swear word like that to somebody who's 12. Like, it's just. That's literally the whole thing.
That was like peak COVID comedy.
It was. Yeah. It was peak COVID comedy. That was like the shit Too Mad was doing too.
Yeah.
Except he took it a different way.
He just joined, like, just make reeing noises,
Yeah.
and that was,
That was it.
yeah, and everybody was like, yeah.
So yeah, maybe we should do that for cults. We
Yeah.
should just join cults
we just joined random cults.
and then do podcast information.
yeah.
Infiltrating a cult.
We don't even call it that. We just go like joining Two Flames, and we're like, it was a good time. Yeah, those guys chill
Yeah.
pretty good. No-
Yeah.
Minecraft mod was good.
Yeah, the Minecraft mod was like a little grindy, and I didn't like some of the, the fact that we had Glocks instead of like Berettas, but like just really like
Yeah.
minuscule like non-complaints.
Yeah, beautiful, excellent.
Yeah, so is that everything on your list?
That was everything on my list, dude.
Awesome, I'm glad we covered it. Is there
Let me,
anything that wasn't on the list that you wanted to cover?
I mean, like, finding passion again.
Yeah,
Was
that's
the thing,
something you're
the
struggling
main
with.
thing.
Yeah, I watched a video and one of the guys said something that you can ruminate on. It's that action precedes motivation.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to just
I thought that
do.
was cool.
Yeah,
Cool line.
yeah,
My cousin actually asked me for advice on motivation recently,
yeah.
and I gave him some advice, and I think it was more relevant to him because we kind of grew up in the same ideologies. But it seemed to me like, to give you the brief of it, his general problem was he didn't have motivation to do art because he had a lot of expectations about what that art should be and how it should turn out. And those expectations were making him not motivated because there's such a high bar to reach, why even try to do it, you know?
Yeah.
There was also a lack of reconciliation between like having fun with it. You know, he wasn't like being playful about art and letting himself sort of just like experiment.
Yeah.
And this is again with that aspect of the standard. But like he could play golf without any trouble and had fun with it and liked improving in it. But you know, there was an aspect of difficulty with art because he felt like he needed to reach some level. I also identified that it seemed like a lot of his motivation for art came from extrinsic factors of like other people, and he felt more motivated to do art when he was around other people. And so I told him, well, you either have to make it intrinsic and find a way, like whether it's challenging or fulfilling for you in order to do that, or you have to find extrinsic means like teaching a class on art or like trying to get it in an art group or other things like that in order to fulfill that. Then my final thing was I told him to suspend temporarily the critic, the internal critic of art.
Yeah.
Like to just allow yourself the freedom to explore, and then at the end, that's when you get to the judgment process of like, how can I refine this, rather than the constant feedback over the course of doing it that often can dull motivation. I told him one of the best ways to do that was to keep your mind preoccupied with potentially a video that's engaging while you're also doing art. So,
Yeah. Damn.
distracting.
But yeah,
So yeah, it was
it's good.
not particularly relevant to you because I obviously,
Yeah, I
am not
don't.
tailor-made.
I think I'm like, it may not seem like it because I play a lot of video games and stuff, but like, I don't know. There's days where I just go home and I just sit there and like try to think of new whatever chunk. But it feels a lot of times when I'm doing that, I'm just like spinning my wheels because I don't have an action I can take. Because if I had something that I was convinced that was gonna be like decent, I would be like, okay, let's get started on that. Like I made that one AI I talked about earlier. I sat down and just created that using there's like a web thing that you can kind of create AI with. I can't remember the name of it right now, but like I went through and I created that, but it just, I don't know. It's not, I don't think for me it's a lack of motivation or anything. I'm just trying to find something that fills the void that like whenever I was, the big thing is like whenever I was working with a team and I was leader of that team or whatever, I felt motivated, happy, and like I was like, I just want to, this is what I want to do, you know. And I just don't have anything else that I've ran into that I'm like, oh, I feel that same way. I'm chasing the dragon of trying to essentially be whatever that role is, you know. And so like, yeah, that's why I'm like, oh, what if I just go into like funding projects or like even if I just work for a company that kept me busy with something that was meaningful that I enjoyed, I would be happy.
At least
You know?
temporarily.
Yeah.
Until that became
Till-
boring.
Yeah, but I mean the thing with what I'm doing now, with it being boring, is the fact that I'm not part of a team. It's just me. And I know I can do stuff and do whatever, but I don't feel like I'm growing. I'm not changing. I'm not becoming better at anything necessarily. I'm just kind of like, I'm here and people pay me to have the skills I already have. And sometimes I gain a little bit of knowledge and get a little bit better, but realistically, it's not that hard or that it doesn't feel that good compared to how it used to be, you know. And so I'm looking for a new form of smack. I need some more. I need better heroin. Is kind of what it feels like, you know. It's kind of unfortunate, but at the same time, I think that that's something that drives me to eventually get to a point where I get to my dream job where I just kind of help people get to places that they want to be in whatever thing that is. So
Yeah, it sounds like you just gotta shoot a bunch of shit on the wall and see what sticks, basically.
yeah, but I don't know what shit to shoot.
That's what you gotta ask AI for.
It's not that helpful. I've asked I've asked ChatGPT like what should I do if this is what I want to do, and they're like, start your own business. I'm like, oh,
Become a
okay, all
public
right.
communications expert in HR.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Become a
Really.
counselor. Go to get a degree in counseling.
I want to be good at something technical and help people through that technical thing. Yeah. So it's not just like you know, even if it's like I said earlier, like even if it's like, oh, I just need to like get this part made or whatever in the most best way here, like I don't know how to do this or whatever, even though I don't know the direct thing is the direct way of doing that, I would love to just like dig into how do I get that done and do every aspect of it. Um, it would be something that I could fixate on and like find a really good way of doing that, and then I would have more skills to bring to more whatever people, I guess. Maybe I'm just insane.
I don't think so. I just think there's an aspect of you that wants to challenge yourself.
Yeah, I do.
And you want to do that in your career as well.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, you're at a point where it's not challenging.
Yeah, it's super easy.
So you either need to overschedule yourself,
which is just exhausting.
or like you did, try to find something new.
Yeah, because I've done the overscheduling, you know, but like what I would look at is like the overscheduling was like a waste of time in a way, because the part that I enjoyed while I was overscheduling myself was going back to my team or whatever. Even though, like, I don't, the optics on it are weird, right? Because I felt like I was the leader of a team, but if I look back on it, I'm like, was I actually? Did other people see me as that? I felt like they did, but I don't actually know.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I felt like I was pretty good at that, and that I want to continue doing whatever that was. So, yep, just chasing the dragon, dude.
Sounds like it.
What's your dragon?
My dragon?
Yeah. Is it dragon these nuts?
It might be. It might be taking down that bear.
I might be dodge rolling.
Yeah, it might
bear
be
claws.
dodge rolling.
Wow.
I don't know what my dragon is. I know I have goals
Mm-hmm.
and that I have to achieve them, but my primary stuff is just trying to be as balanced as possible. Like, I think I showed you my document. I have like the body, mind, spirit, and then I have activities in each of those, and then I try to meet them. So that's what I've been doing a lot of. I really enjoyed doing the stream where I did push-ups as, punishment for fighting the boss. That was really fun. And I ended up doing like 80, 10 sets of push-ups. Or sorry,
Christ.
I did 80 push-ups, but 10 sets of push-ups. Yeah. Not
Damn.
80, yeah.
Yeah, 80 sets of push-ups would be a bit of a doozy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But-
It depends on the quality of the push-ups you're doing. I bet you could, do it. But
Yeah.
like
80 push-ups is a lot. I mean, I don't
yeah,
even,
it is a lot, even with the breaks and stuff.
Yeah. I don't even know how many push-ups I could even do right now.
But, I mean, I did push-ups earlier, so I'd probably be less than normal, but
I'd probably be able to do 20, maybe.
hey,
The thing is, like with exercising, is that whatever exercise you do, you'll get better at that exercise.
yeah.
Like, I bet I could do. I can do super heavy rows. Like I can do rowing with like really heavy weights.
Yeah.
But like someone who's never done rows but works out might not be able to do the same amount of weight, even though I'm not built. I just have the rowing muscles down or that motion down.
You've been working
essentially.
through them, yeah.
Yeah.
Your body can, work in that direction easier.
Yeah, it's like the same with like, I see people at the gym doing like you do the freaking dips and all that stuff. Like I don't do dips, but I feel strong, and then I go to do dips. I'm like, man, I can only do a few dips. But some people, they go to the gym, they just do dips and go on the treadmill or whatever, and they do pull-ups, and that's their whole thing. And it's like, well, yeah, they're probably really good at that. Let's see how much they can bench, though. It's just like,
See if those muscles transfer.
Yeah, they don't.
To the benching.
I don't think they do.
Depends on the muscle.
I don't for dips.
Well, dips is tricep, so anything using tricep.
Benching is your chest. and biceps.
I mean, yeah, but it's all connected eventually. So, I mean, even if you're using your chest, you're still kind of using some of that.
Sure. Yeah. And whenever you do, and it's the same thing with, if you only did benching, you could probably do a few dips because it's the same thing. Yeah. But you probably wouldn't be able to do as many dips as much as the guy,
So my dragon is doing my update for Jump Off the Bridge that I've been working on for 3 years, and probably gonna write a book.
About that?
No,
Oh,
just
okay.
in general.
You should write a book about that. It wouldn't have to be that long. You just have to.
Yeah, it just I collate all of my journal entries into some kind of readable format.
Yeah.
Here's what I was thinking of when I did it. I've seen people do that for different games and stuff, but yeah, mine has just been more unlearning stuff and then learning things and then trying to figure out what works and what doesn't, and then that's basically. I mean, I'm sure that's everyone's story to a certain extent, but
Yeah. No, I've been trying to tell Rebecca, hi Rebecca, like how I enjoy getting better. Like I play video games that I'm bad at because I like the feeling of like, oh, I figured this out and now I'm putting into mechanical action of my hands and whatever to do something better that makes me better at the video game. And in a way that translates into real life for me with a bunch of stuff. And like I have this, I call it if I were to call it a Pokemon ability, which I know you probably don't know anything about, but there's a ability called Slow Start, where you get only a little bit of your stats, and then every turn you get a little bit more, till you get to turn 5, and then you get all your stats, and it's only on really strong Pokemon. But so basically, I feel like I have Slow Start, and every day that I do something and then sleep, I get better at it every day, and it's just like normal life. But
yeah.
but the thing is, I don't know why I feel as though every time I first do something, I'm terrible and miserable at it. But I know in my heart as I'm failing, I know if I were to just go to bed and wake up somehow, I would start the next day and be like, oh, I'm already
the
way better.
neurons are firing better that day.
Yeah.
They've already been used to this shit.
They connected.
Yeah, they know you're gonna have to face the same challenge, so they're like, we might as well make it easier on them today.
Exactly. And so I feel as though I have that like to an extreme degree. And so every time I have a new challenge, I like to lose a lot. Like when I was talking about playing fighting games and stuff, just getting absolutely demolished, I'm like laughing sometimes, just like, oh, I did it again. I knew it. I knew how to beat that, but I did it, And it's just, I don't know, I think it's a good mindset to have, but you have to build that, you know what I mean? And I don't know how that came to be with me. Maybe it's just obsessively playing video games for a really long time and being like, I can't get frustrated because it looks like baby rage. And
I'm balding.
Yeah, I don't want to be the baby rage guy, so I just won't be upset.
That's interesting. I feel like I've been training and teaching myself more and more that it's like okay to fail through playing Elden Ring the absurd way I'm playing it, like by just meeting everything with a club and like essentially no armor. Because like I know eventually, no matter how much time I put into it, I will eventually overcome that.
Yeah.
Like I'll learn every move in my body, and then if I punish myself by working out. And simultaneously, I'm getting exercise, and I'm just like repeatedly failing to the point where I can, meet any obstacle with that same sort of indifference, that detachment of like, I'll get it. Yeah. It's just gonna take time.
Yeah.
So, I feel you on that. I actually was thinking about this quite a bit because for some reason, when I was doing my meditation, I thought of an old memory of ours, and I remember like an old annoyance of mine. It was when we were in middle, or it might have been elementary school. It was probably elementary school. We had, in 5th grade, we have that feet track thing where like there was a track around the playground in the back, and every time you ran a lap, you get a plastic foot.
Yeah.
And then if you got a certain amount of plastic foots, it would be a mile.
Yeah.
And then depending on how many miles you ran or got you could only do it during lunch period, you would get rewards for it.
Yeah.
I think your parents had to pay for the rewards. I'm not entirely. Okay, no.
It's called Tiger Track.
Tiger Track, yeah. And so they would reward it. And I remember being really annoyed with that process because I wasn't particularly fast, and you had to do it during lunch, so you ended up like taking up your playground time. And I was thinking about it now, like reflecting back on it, that is one instance of a game essentially set up to only test one particular skill. It's the speed at which you can complete a lap in order to get the most
Can you
miles.
run?
Yeah, because there's a limited amount of time in a semester, assuming you show up every day to get it. And what it doesn't teach is like a skill like endurance. And I feel like I have a lot of endurance or perhaps an innate stubbornness when it comes to a challenge. And so I was recognizing like, okay, that's an aspect of myself. And I'm like trying to piece together like ways that I'm using it. And I'm using it in like sometimes in the approach to my game design. I'm using it in the approach to like Elden Ring. And I'm also thinking about it from a perspective of like, what are the weaknesses of this trait? The weaknesses is that, you know, good things have to die eventually. There is like a terminal end to things. And to be able to let things go is also part of, you know, growing up and acknowledging like when something isn't working, that you just need to start over and etc. So I was like trying to piece together all of these things, and that fucking those plastic feet came in my head. Oh man.
We were supposed to like hand them in, right?
I have a bunch of them. I don't think you were supposed to hand them in, but
no, I think the foot represented a mile, and they would give you popsicle sticks, and then for every 4 popsicle sticks,
I don't remember.
you got a foot.
I remember keeping the feet. I have them somewhere, I think.
Yeah, because I remember having a few of the feet as well.
Yeah, they were like little plastic feet, and I think some had like a heart shape in the hole, so you could make like a necklace out of them or whatever. And they were all different colors.
I always thought it was kind of dumb, and I wanted to play in the swings, so I did that instead. You could go really high in the swings.
Yeah, so. You could go super high in the swings. It was like a battle of like, do I want to earn like in this achievement-based thing, or do I want to hang out with my friends?
Yes. Yeah. Because it's not like I had that many friends or anything in elementary school, but I remember being like, I would rather like play tag and just sprint that way than walk around the dumb track and do essentially hamster treadmill.
Yeah.
You know,
you knew back then, you're like, I ain't going to be a fucking cog in the machine.
Pretty much, yeah.
This authoritarian school can't teach me this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, fall in line. I'm like, no, I'm going down the slide the wrong way.
Yeah. Fuck you guys. I'm going up the slide.
Yeah. God. I haven't ran up a playground slide long time.
I've just been going over to Macomb and then just like randomly running as fast as I can.
That's fun.
Yeah, just to see how far and how long I can.
Oh, yeah.
It probably looks like I'm just like some fucking crazy dude.
Probably.
I imagine in some capacity, but.
Did you ever like? When's the last time you foot raced someone?
It's been a long time.
Isn't it weird that like that's such a thing that like happens? And then if I were to ask you like, do you want to race?
Yeah.
You'd probably say yes.
Yeah, of course.
And then we would go outside and we would race.
Yeah.
See, but like nobody does that.
Dude, I think the last time I foot raced anybody was like my graduation at like Armada.
I think I was drunk and I wanted to see, because my one friend runs all the time. Like, I think I'm faster, but I have zero endurance. So, like, we had to find out.
That's great. That's super good.
And now I'm in the best shape I would say I've ever been in my entire life. And now I'm like, but there's no running.
There's no running. We gotta go run, dude. That's what we gotta do.
You want to just see who can, like, make it to the dumpster first? Like,
dude, we're just gonna go to Macomb in a big grass area, and you and I are gonna race each other.
I'm down. I'm ready.
All right,
I got my jeans on. After work clothes.
Yeah. We'll set up the fucking tiny camera.
I'm right. I'll do it. Yeah, I sprinted today.
Yeah, that's what I did. Let's do it, dude.
All right. Yeah, you want to do that?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Goodbye, podcast.
Right,
we're going to sprint.
We're going to sprint.